Hi and welcome to my July review. We start the month with a good aspect for you Aries, because your ruler Mars, who's still in your sign, makes a square to Pluto. Now this makes it really intense energy, but you need to be able to channel it in the right way and in a constructive positive way, because it's very intense energy. Now the energy seems to be concentrated on the 10th house where Pluto is. So with Mars coming together with Pluto, you can expect either great ambition, great drive, great energy to get on and do what it is you have the desire and the ambition to do, or you can have very difficult ego clashes, power struggles, which really are a waste of time and energy, and you really are better off channeling the energy in a creative way towards your career or destiny. Now the other thing we have on the 2nd is aspects from Venus and Mercury to respective planets. They're both in the 3rd house. This is the house of communication. So this is a time to be more alone, work alone, get on with your tasks, do things, because with Venus making an aspect to Neptune, there could be some confusions or some misunderstandings with communication. So concentrate on the Mercury, which is an aspect to Saturn, and work alone. Get all your tasks finished. It's good for mental concentration. So Mars will instruct you of what he wants, what he desires. So this aspect will help you to put that in action, because the Mars aspect lasts for 3 days. On the 5th we have a coming together of Mercury and Mars. Now this is unusual because both planets will be at 0 degrees. Both planets have just changed sign. Mars, your ruler, has moved into the 2nd house in Taurus, and Mercury has moved into 4th house and Cancer. So these houses will be activated, and these planets will give you the opportunity to take advantage of things. You'll be able to use your initiative. You'll be able to really test yourself and to see what you can produce. These energies are good because it's your mental energies of Mercury and the physical energies of Mars coming together. So this is a fantastic time to work in unison with the two, especially with finances being the 2nd house, and also around the home. There may be ideas coming up about the home, and with Mars in the 2nd house, about how you can make financial gains. Then on the 6th we have Venus, who's in that 3rd house, making an aspect to Chiron. This is a time when you can help people. You can understand and communicate people very well, and you can perhaps inspire them or uplift them, especially friends who may be feeling a little bit down. This is a good time to pay attention to their needs. On the 8th you may feel a little bit like a fish out of water, because the Sun makes a square to Chiron in your 1st house, so it may unnerve you a bit. You may feel like everything's been put upon you, and it's hard to cope just for that day. But then a better aspect on the 9th, when the Sun makes a positive aspect with Uranus, who's in your 2nd house. So you might change your attitude to finances. You might change your attitude to what you put value in, your possessions, what you find is worthwhile and what isn't. Maybe a radical change with that. And also it's a day when you can show part of you that very rarely comes out. It's the more exciting, the more daring, the more rebellious side of your nature that you will be confident to show. This is also an aspect between Mercury and Jupiter, which will build your confidence and make you more optimistic and positive. So this is a great day. The pattern this month seems to be challenging aspects followed by positive aspects, so it's a little bit up and down, and no more so than on the 10th, when we have Mercury come together with the Black Moon Lilith. Now this can always cause a difficulty in communication. It's happening in your 4th house of the home, so maybe that you just need to step back a bit on this day and not get embroiled in any long and lengthy discussions. Leave it to the following day, when the Sun makes another positive aspect and things are a lot brighter. This time it's an aspect to the Moon's North Node. Is also in that 2nd house of finances, so we could find also with an aspect from Venus to Saturn, that a friend may be able to help you. Saturn's in your 11th house of friends and colleagues, and this is a day when you're more open and able to talk to people and communicate with people, and maybe you'll find a solution to one of your problems, be it financial or be it around the home, that a friend can help you and put you on the right track, the ideal track for you. On the 13th we have our full moon. Now this full moon happens to be in Capricorn and your 10th house. Now the moon in Capricorn is in its detriment and is not a good position from it. It stifles the emotions and becomes quite unemotional. Now this may be a good thing for you because the full moon is in your 10th house. And this is the house of career and destiny, so it may be a time when it's good to not get too emotionally involved in your career, and that you can see things in a more logical way and move forward in the direction that you want. Now there is a need to balance because you still have the sun in the 4th house in Cancer, which will be very emotional, obviously not as emotional as the moon. So you need to balance at home and work, and the emotional side of the home and connection with the home with the more logical, forward-thinking 10th house career and destiny. Now on the same day we have an aspect between Mercury and Chiron. Now this will make it difficult for you to be heard because that 10th house is a public standing, and it may be that this is a time when you'll find it difficult to get the attention of others. But then we also have a very creative aspect with Venus and Neptune. So this is good. This will bring a creative side to your career and destiny. But also it can be a little bit delusional, so just be careful that you keep things real and that you don't go off on one into the realms of fantasy. Two aspects from Mercury, the 1st and the 14th, is to Uranus. So this will bring great excitement. This will bring vision for the future for you, with exciting new ideas. And this is centered around the 2nd house and the Mercury being the 4th house, the home area. So it could be ideas coming up now of where you can extend your finances or to make better use of what you've got. There'll be some fantastic ideas. And also on the 15th there's an aspect, same aspect, positive sextile to the moon's north node. And the moon's north node is coming together with Uranus later on in the month, but for this time Mercury's going to sparkle them both off. So there could be some ideas that you have that will open up a new path for you. The North Node is about our future and our way forward, and this could be an ideal opportunity now to shift slightly. We spoke about the full moon, and the aspect of that will have effect for the next 2 weeks. So maybe this is Mercury helping you and advising you of which direction you should be going in. On the 16th we have Mercury and the Sun coming together, and this is always great because it allows us to communicate well with others, but through our heart, through our centre, so that what we say usually comes from the heart, rather than when Mercury's in a different sign to the Sun. It makes it more difficult to get that same self-expression. But these two together make two aspects. 1st and the 17th is in opposition to Pluto, so this can be another difficult one. Pluto, remember, is in your 10th house of career. We spoke about the full moon and maybe taking on more authority responsibility, but there's going to be a challenge on this day. There could be a power struggle of some kind with authority figures, or if you're in authority with the people you have authority over. So just be aware that it's a good time to discuss things and to use that Mercury Sun conjunction to get your point across, but in the right way. Then on the 18th we have another aspect from Mercury and the Sun. This time it's to Neptune. Neptune's in that 12th house. This is a very spiritual aspect. This will give you different insight on things. And it may be that after the opposition with Pluto you need to look at things in a different light. Maybe you need to take a more spiritual, holistic view of things and maybe see the bigger picture rather than focusing on that small point that's causing difficulties between you and others. This aspect is very good for meditation, any kind of spiritual pursuit, but it's also very creative, and you could also get some great ideas coming through at this time. On the 19th we have a positive aspect between Mars and the Black Moon Lilith, and although this is a positive aspect, it can amplify any anger. Now Mars is in that second house of finances, the Black Moon Lilith is in the fourth house of the home. So there could be anger surface regarding financial matters in the home or around the home. So you just need to be aware of this. This is a good time to talk to a third person. It's a good time to get things off your chest, but not with direct confrontation. It's a good time to talk to a friend or to a counsellor. And while the 4 days of this aspect is going on, you can open up and discuss things, and you'll feel a lot better when it's passed. On the 20th, there is activation of an old wound, because Chiron goes retrograde. Chiron is in your sign of Aries and in the first house. So this wound is directly related to you personally. It could be a physical wound being in the first house, or it could be something that people can easily recognise. So this is a good time to work with that. On the 23rd, the Sun moves into Leo and your 5th house. So over the next month, it's going to be a very creative, very sociable time for you. And it's a good time to make the most of your talents. We have two aspects. The first, on the 23rd, is between Mercury and Jupiter. And the second, on the 24th, is between Venus and Jupiter. Now, these are both good aspects for commercial enterprise, for investments, or for thinking up new ideas, new projects. It's also good for planning ahead, so make the most of these positive aspects. On the 26th, we have a square between Mercury and Mars. Now this aspect is always good if you need to defend your point of view or defend your beliefs. You'll be able to do that with great gusto. But there is a bit of irritability that can creep in with this aspect, so just be aware of that. And if you start feeling yourself becoming irritable, you need to channel the energy into exercise. Then on the 27th, there is an aspect between Venus and the Black Moon Lilith. Now this is always an exciting one. This is always one where fear seems to drop away and you just do anything and try anything. But you need to just be wary that the excitement is great, but just don't overstep the mark and do anything you may regret. There's also an aspect between Mercury and Chiron. This is great to talk to people. This is great to talk about any past hurts, and also it's a good time to rebuild bridges again if you've fell out with people in the past. On the 28th, we have a new moon, and this is a really special new moon for you Aries. Not only is it in Leo, your fellow fire sign, it's also in your 5th house, but there are other aspects which are going to give this a real big boost. This is going to be fantastic over the next couple of weeks. Now the new moon in the 5th house is about having fun, it's about expressing yourself, it's about being brave, being bold, getting yourself out there and doing things. You know, open your world up. It's been difficult over the last few years, but now it's time to blossom, to be that rose that has just unfolded. We also have another aspect. This is a conjunction between the Moon's North Node and Uranus. Now this also lasts for 19 days, so these two together are going to bring unprecedented change in your life, and this is going to be of a creative nature and in that 5th house area. So there could be anything that happens. There could be new love in your life, there could be new adventures, new social areas, new creative projects, or new talents that you discover. These are all going to be fantastic. But the North Node is about our spiritual way forward. So these things are meant to happen, they're meant to be. So you can't pass up these opportunities. If there's something that comes your way, you will probably feel that it's right. But it will all happen suddenly with Uranus. Things will happen in a lightning strike. So you need to just be aware and ready to take these opportunities with this special new moon. Also on the 28th, in line with the new moon, Jupiter turns retrograde. Now Jupiter's in your 1st house and your sign, and when Jupiter's retrograde, particularly in this position, there could be a change of consciousness. It could be intense spiritual growth. This could be linked to that new moon and the Uranus aspect. On the 31st, Mars comes in, your ruler, with a real big burst of energy. This will give you the courage and the confidence to embrace those changes that Uranus and the North Node will be bringing you. And then to finish the month on the 31st, there are 3 smaller aspects. The Sun makes positive aspect to Jupiter, which will bring a boost of confidence. Mercury makes an opposition to Saturn, which will allow you to plan and put things into good perspective. Now, the last aspect between Venus and the Chiron in your first house, who's now gone retrograde, means that there could be something come up from the past to do with a past love that will just trigger some feelings, but you just need to work with this and lay it to rest. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the July review. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe, and if you'd like to leave me a message, I'd love to hear from you.